What's up, fellas? In today's video, it is an NBA trade machine on Bradley Beal, which is of course topical because Bradley Beal seems unhappy, hasn't officially requested a trade, but he's the biggest name out there right now in the NBA trade market. And in this video, we're going to be looking at some possible fake trades for Bradley Beal to a variety of different teams, some that I came up with, as well as some that you guys sent in over on Twitter, as well as in the comment section of a couple of different videos, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. But quickly, before we get started, if you're new here, what's up? My name's Tucker. I upload NBA stuff twice a day, every single day on this channel. It's a great place to be. If you're looking for consistent NBA content, you can leave a like rating on the video, and you can check me out at various socials in a link tree down below. With those things said, let's go ahead and talk about some Bradley Beal fake trades. The first one is something that I came up with, and just keep an open mind on this one. So the Miami Heat end up with Bradley Beal. The Wizards end up with James Johnson, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, KZ Okpala, Precious, Josh Green, and 2 picks from Miami, both unprotected. And the Mavs end up with Goran Dragic. Let's go from one side to the other here, and we'll kind of talk this out. So for the Mavericks, what I'm thinking is they need some kind of shakeup on their roster. They need some more perimeter creation so that Luka doesn't have to do quite literally everything. So why not go out and get somebody that he is familiar with in Goran Dragic? Comes in immediately, helps them as a perimeter creator, as an off-ball shooter. Isn't going to do a ton for them defensively, but they're having some issues right now on offense. And Goran Dragic helps them with a lot of those issues. And they're giving up James Johnson, who is an expiring contract, gets some minutes for them, but not a ton. And they are giving up Josh Green, who could be a nice player down the road, but that provides the Wizards a bit more value here. And it helps the Mavs in an immediate sense. And then also Dragic has the team option for next offseason. So if they still have big plans for free agency, they can decline the team option, potentially bring Dragic back on a different deal, or just open up that cap space. Now, for Washington, of course, they're giving up the best player in the deal, and they're getting back a significant amount of value as a result. The Johnson expiring helps them with some of their salary issues, and can be used in a different trade down the road as well. Nunn, Hero, Okpala, Precious, and Green are all, helpful long-term pieces, all on rookie contracts, and all of which could be nice players down the road with, the big name here being, of course, Tyler Hero. And then you get the 2 future firsts for Miami as well. You're not going to be getting the 8 future firsts that, that Houston got from Brooklyn. And you can, if you really want to talk about, they should be getting an extra pick or 2, that's fine. I'm not really worried about the number of picks here. If you want to add 1 or 2 to make this more fair, that's fine. And then Miami, of course, is getting Bradley Beal, and they're having to give up a significant amount of stuff to get him. But then you move forward and you keep Duncan Robinson in this critically. You have Bam, Beal, Butler, Duncan Robinson, and the other guys in the roster, Avery Bradley, Andre Iguodala, Kelly Olynyk, whatever the case may be. And because their free agency plans in 2021 have kind of, been taken away from them because all these other guys, Giannis and otherwise have re-signed, Bradley Beal would be kind of their big move here, in place of some of the potential free agency stuff. Now, obviously for Miami, they're giving up a significant amount of their rotation, not just the young guys, but also Dragic as well. So they're going to be relying on not only, bringing in potential free agents or buyout players, but just the other guys on the roster, Iggy, Mo Harkless, Avery Bradley, to step up in the absence of some of these guys. But you can make the argument that just having Beal makes up for a lot of that. And of course, he is still just 27 years old as well, and is going to continue to, be a really, really good player for a number of years there in Miami. Presumably would be happy there as well, so there'd be no risk of him leaving down the road. So let me know what you guys think of this one. I think it's at least interesting, involving the Mavericks here a little bit, trying to help them get better rather than just a straight up, Heat Bradley Beal trade. Next up now is a trade sent from Mackey, in which the Philadelphia 76ers end up with Bradley Beal in exchange for Danny Green, Mike Scott, Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and a lot of picks. It looks like 3 firsts and 2 seconds going to Washington. So it's pretty simple here, for Philly. It's a similar trade package to the one that, they tried to get James Harden for, except they're keeping Ben Simmons here and they're replacing him with, Thybulle and Maxey and a ton of picks, and of course Danny Green's salary to make the numbers work. And so Philly goes forward, and they've got Beal as their perimeter creation guy that they've needed for forever. They've still got Simmons, they've got Joel Embiid, and they're one of the best teams in the East. And they're giving up, a good amount of the rotation and future assets to do so. But if they can keep Simmons and get someone like Beal, I think it's definitely something worth taking a look at. And for Washington, just like with all these trade packages, just kind of depends on what else is out there and how this compares to the other things. It depends on your opinion of people like Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle. And then, the future picks as well, one of which being a pick swap. I don't think we're going to see a haul similar to what James Harden got, even though Bradley Beal is younger. Because as great of a player as Bradley Beal is, James Harden has been an MVP in this league. So I would imagine that just as a player, his value is higher than Beal's would be in a trade, which is why you're not seeing anything crazy, but this is still a lot of value. And at the end of the day, whether you would take this or not if you were the Wizards just depends on your opinion of Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle. A lot of Sixers fans think these guys are really, really good players, but other teams around the league might not have that same opinion. And then again, you can kind of get into the details about the picks if you want to, but Mackie, I appreciate you sending this in, man. Thank you. Next up now is Josh's trade. This one had had a ton of likes in the Twitter replies. A lot of people like this one because it's a bit different. And in this scenario, the New Orleans Pelicans are the ones getting Bradley Beal. The Wizards would be getting JJ Redick, Lonzo Ball, Jackson Hayes, and a lot of picks, some from Milwaukee and some from LA. And New Orleans, as well as Oklahoma City, are two teams that are kind of lingering here in the Bradley Beal sweepstakes because, of course, they have all of those future picks that they can trade, whether it be from the Clippers or the Lakers or the Rockets or the Bucks or whatever the case may be. These teams have a lot of first-round picks at their disposal, and New Orleans has a couple of young guys as well that could be interesting to some different teams, as you can see in this deal with Lonzo and Jackson Hayes. So again, it just depends on what the other things are on the table. If you're Washington, it depends on your opinion of Lonzo Ball and Jackson Hayes. Ball needing a new contract at the end of the season is significant as well. But and then as you look at the picks, I mean, you've got a 2024 Milwaukee pick, a 2027 Milwaukee pick, a 2024 Lakers pick, a 2023 Lakers pick, a 2026 Milwaukee pick, and a 2021 Lakers pick. So, that's a lot of picks to be sending out, but, Ball and Hayes maybe haven't proven as much as they need to be significant pieces in a Bradley Beal trade. But again, if you really want to get into the details about taking away a pick or two, then that's fine. That's not really what I feel like talking about here. But then the Pelicans move forward and they've got Ingram, they've got Bradley Beal, they've got Zion Williamson, and, Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe. Like, they've got a ready-made starting lineup right there. And then still some other interesting young pieces, still extra draft picks as well. And they can move forward from there. Now, they've got to figure out a way to guard with that group, and they've, struggled to guard to this point in the season. So that's still going to be an issue. Bradley Beal is not going to solve that problem, but they definitely have the star power. The issue for me and the concern I would have as a Pelicans fan is not having a guarantee that Bradley Beal would want to return to the team whenever his free agency rolls around, because it's not like New Orleans is necessarily a big-time destination. So you'd be giving up a lot of assets with no guarantee from Beal that he would be staying in New Orleans, as opposed to somewhere like Miami where you're pretty confident he would be staying. But still, it's an interesting deal, and I appreciate you saying it in. Next up now is another trade that I came up with, and it's a pretty simple one. It's a variation of one that I'm sure you guys have seen a good amount, out and around on Twitter and other places. In this scenario, the Wizards would be getting Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr., Bol, and 2 picks, and the Nuggets would be getting Bradley Beal. Again, if you want to talk about, adding an extra pick or two here, that's fine. But the bottom line here is, out of all of the young players that have been put into trades to this point, Tyler Hero, Lonzo Ball, Michael Porter Jr. is the highest upside, and he's the guy you would feel most sure about potentially making an all-star team down the road, assuming he can, be on the floor at some point. And he's obviously had issues dealing with, different protocols and things like that. So that's, one of the reasons why there's not as much other stuff here involved as, for example, there was in that Pelicans trade that we just took a look at. Bol could still be something. Gary Harris is fine, but nothing, too crazy. It's basically about Michael Porter Jr. and the 2 picks, and then if you get extra stuff from Bol or from Gary Harris, then that's fine. That's good. And then the Nuggets, they have Jamal Murray, they have Nikola Jokic, they have Bradley Beal, they have all the offensive stuff they could possibly need. And then they would look to make some other moves to bring in some high-quality wings to help them defend a little bit. And then they're rocking and rolling. And then the Nuggets are, they're good. And again, it's a bit of a question as to whether or not Bradley Beal would want to stay in Denver, but presuming that they have, a significant amount of team success, which would be a huge difference from his time in Washington, should be happy, should be willing to re-sign. So again, just another example of a place where Bradley Beal could go. Last up now is one from the Shake Milton fan club. And this is another really good one as well. I like this. And again, it involves Dallas. In this one, Washington receives Norman Powell, Chris Boucher, Jalen Brunson, and 3 picks from Toronto, 1 from Dallas. The Raptors get James Johnson and Bradley Beal, and the Mavericks get Kyle Lowry. So the Raptors are giving up a lot here, right? I mean, Boucher's been fine. Norman Powell can be a good player. They're giving up 3 picks. They're giving up Kyle Lowry as well. But they're getting Bradley Beal, and then James Johnson can do something for them as well, play a couple of minutes on the wing. And this is really a way for Toronto to kind of level their team up this year. As good as Kyle Lowry is, Bradley Beal, of course, is a better player at this point. Then you've got Beal, you've got Van Vliet, you've got Siakam, and you just roll forward from there. And those are your guys. You've got OG Anunoby, and you've got the makings of a really, really good team. And I would say that Beal with that offensive firepower he provides that this team definitely needs, certainly raises the ceiling there in Toronto. Washington is getting, for the most part, this is very picks based compared to some of the other trade packages that we have seen. Jalen Brunson and Chris Boucher being the most significant players here, but it's not like you're super excited about, one of these guys potentially becoming an all-star as you would be, with someone like Michael Porter Jr. But again, that's compensated with more picks here. And then the Mavericks, sneakily, I like this as well. I mean, you're giving up Brunson, a future pick, and James Johnson, but you're getting Kyle Lowry, someone that helps you immediately, similar to the Goran Dragic thing. And then again, it keeps that cap space open and available for you in this upcoming summer, as Kyle Lowry does have an expiring contract, and someone that I think just fits really well there in Dallas and provides a lot of the things that they need. As a two-way player, provides toughness and just fits really well with what Dallas, kind of needs on their team and on their roster right now. So another very, very interesting one, and I appreciate you sending it in. And that's going to be all the trades. I hope you guys enjoyed the trades. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of any of them. I thought this was a really, really good group, and as always, I appreciate you guys sending those in to me. With all those things said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you can check out more videos from me at the boxes on screen, as well as you can check out the channel as a whole for that twice a day NBA content that I mentioned uploaded every single day. You can sub to the channel for more. You can like the video. You can check out those various socials at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.